this is Max Noir here. I am the head of US operations for FXG, both in the US and also now in the Uganda branch. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the early stages of starting an XR ecosystem in Eastern Africa and specifically Uganda. So I'm going to share my screen with you and get started. Okay, so again, I'm going to talk to you about building an XR ecosystem in Uganda and also tell you the story about how a single tweet started this whole entire project. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I am, how this project got started, how it's going, some of the stuff that we've learned along the way, and also the vision for what we're trying to build. So a bit about me. I, a while back, did a thesis on using virtual reality to build empathy and also diminish people's implicit biases, which is a whole lot of, really intricate, crazy stuff, but it's what I'm passionate about. So basically, I started my VR career in China working for the company FXG, who I currently am still with. That's where they're based, in Eastern China, in a city called Hangzhou. After a couple of years, I moved back to the United States, where I'm from, to start our US branch. And then just this summer, I actually moved to Uganda, which I'll tell you more about in a bit. But I'm now doing virtual reality here in Uganda. So ever since I started working with this company, I've been trying my best to work with companies and organizations and initiatives who are striving to do virtual reality projects that have to do with making positive social impact, as well as mental health, nonprofit work, and things like that. So that's the goal. And I'll tell you a little bit more about some of those projects that I've been working on in a bit. A quick intro about my company, FXG. We are a virtual reality production studio. We do a lot of 360 video, which we capture with our own proprietary cameras. We also use a proprietary stitching software and video player to make sure that the footage comes out nicely. So we use this technology to do a whole bunch of stuff, from weddings and live events to sports, lots of travel, which is something that we're also working on here in Uganda, performance and live events, training. So we do physical training programs where people can learn hands-on hard skills through virtual reality, which, some of the projects we've done, like this one for GE Healthcare, ends up sort of reducing the cost of the training programs while boosting efficiency and mitigating risk. We've done journalism. This was a piece that I did of a Black Lives Matter protest for Juneteenth in Brooklyn. So it's kind of the ability to jump back into the past and revisit or either go to for the first time to a historical event that maybe you missed and kind of relive history, and also communal experiences. So this is an example of one of the projects that I worked on that had to do with social impact. We recently worked with a nonprofit organization called Hope for Haiti. They raise money to improve the educational, medical, and economic infrastructure in southern Haiti. So what we did was we actually built them a virtual environment of a Haitian school where multiple people at one time can go into virtual reality. It's a multiplayer experience, and tour the school, walk around the island, do some interactive elements like pumping a water well. And then you can kind of learn more about the Hope for Haiti organization and the work that they're doing there. And it's also sort of a call to action to try to fundraise. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about how the work in Uganda got started. In the summertime, this past summer, I decided basically I woke up one day and everything in my heart, soul, and body was like, you need to go to Uganda right now. Because when I lived in China, I had some Ugandan friends and colleagues. This man here on the left is my business partner here on the ground, and we worked together for FXG when we were both living in China. Then he moved back to his home country. I moved back to my home country. Ever since then, I've wanted to just check out Uganda, see where my friends come, and see a new place. So yeah, I woke up this one day and my intuition was telling me you need to go right now. And I didn't know why, but I just decided to listen to it. So I scheduled a 1 month kind of just tourist thing where I would go reconnect with my friends and do safari and just see the place. And my business partner and I, we went on a safari and we started filming some of Uganda's, most key tourist areas, like this place, which is called Mukshan Falls. We filmed it with 360 video so that it could be experienced later on immersively. So you can kind of take like a VR safari from anywhere in the world. Got some great shots of wildlife like this elephant. So basically 3 weeks into my 4-week trip, I was sitting down with my business partner and he told me, I wish I could still work in virtual reality, but there just aren't really those job opportunities yet here in my country. So we were like, okay, let's have a brainstorm. I'm here for 1 more week. Maybe we can leverage our networks and see if we can kind of change that at all. So in that moment, we decided to make a tweet on my Twitter, basically just asking my virtual reality network around the world, hey, do you guys have any VR headsets that you would like to donate to developers and artists here in Uganda so that they can start developing the immersive technology development skills, maybe making some immersive art, doing some NFT work, some of those ideas. So we put out the tweet, which you can see on the left side here. And it ended up kind of blowing up to our pleasant surprise. So we were hoping that we'd get like maybe a few headsets donated, but in the end, we had approximately 50 VR, augmented reality, and mixed reality headsets donated, along with some development computers and phones. And then we also had people reach out to us like Snapchat and UNICEF, who were making different types of offers, giving us different resources like grant money, software licenses, and virtual workshops. So basically that day I canceled my flight, which was due to be 1 week later. And I realized that it wasn't time for me to leave yet. So my business partner and I got to work. We started doing demonstrations for some of Uganda's most influential people who none of them had really ever tried virtual reality before. And if they had, it was probably one of those really bad, low quality, like mall experiences. So this is a famous model on the right side, and on the left side, it's a well-known fashion designer, both trying out the safari experience that we made. And then through kind of the grapevine and people talking about it, we got connected with the government. This is specifically the Ministry of ICT, which is Innovation, Communication, Technology. And these are going to be the people in the government who are really going to get on board with the project and start working with us and potentially funding. So we've been meeting with them quite a lot, and they're also trying VR for the first time. And they seem to be really excited so far and want to work with us. So this is kind of where we've been at. So some of the difficulties we've had is that definitely working with the government is a really slow process. So we've been meeting with them for a few months now, and we do feel a lot of support and excitement coming from their end, but not a lot of really strong results yet, but we're persevering. We also realized that in order to develop our goal and succeed, which is to build an incubator, and I'll talk more about that in a second, we do need to have a better understanding of the current state of development skills in Uganda. So we decided we needed to conduct a needs assessment by getting in touch with lots of different local universities and different program coordinators who are teaching software development, also videography, things like this, to see, which softwares are they learning, where are their skills, how highly are their skills developed in each software, so that when it comes down to us, organizing these workshops and, working with companies like Snapchat, we actually have a better idea of where they need to start, post college, if they went to college. This is definitely a slow process, but we do feel like we've made a lot of progress so far. We've also learned that we can't rely solely on the government as much as we hope to gain their support in the long term. We do want to also start talking to people like Snapchat and other companies around the world to try to get some investment and support from them as well. So our main goal is to build an incubator space in the capital city of Uganda, which is called Kampala. The space is going to have literally every type of immersive technology, hardware, software, unlimited internet access, and workshops that are taught by some of our partners like Snapchat, where people can basically sign up for a cohort, and maybe 1 month or 2 months they have 3 workshops by Snapchat every week where they learn how to develop for Snapchat's Lens Studio in augmented reality, and maybe Snapchat has donated some of their augmented reality glasses. This is kind of the ideal situation. And then we'd also have a different cohort for virtual reality development, maybe taught by Unity, the game engine. So this is the idea. We also want to have accelerator programs down the line where we kind of incentivize different people to create startup ideas, and we give them all of the resources that they need, including some financial support that can be granted to 1 to 3 of the startups that kind of build out the best, most effective proposal. And yeah, we hope to be able down the line to give people some grant and startup money so they can actually build out their startup instead of just leaving it at a good idea. So right now, there's no virtual reality really at all in Uganda, except for like a couple low quality mall experiences. And we think right now is one of the best times to kind of get it started here. Reason for that is, in Africa in general, along with kind of all over the world during COVID, tourism has dropped over 80% 2020. 2021 was the biggest year for virtual reality consumer spending ever. And we know that metric is going to just keep going and going, especially as Facebook and other big conglomerates kind of jump on board more strongly. So we do think it's kind of the perfect time for Uganda to start utilizing this technology for things like tourism, hands-on safety trainings, education, and virtually any sector you can think of. So 2-part goal. One part is to bring the outside into Uganda through virtual tourism, which can hopefully bring some, tourism money back into the economy while we're still working through COVID. The other goal is to lift the inside up through, workshops, training programs, just kind of teaching the development skills for XR that's needed so that people can start doing the work themselves and developing apps that are going to help the country and the companies, and also outside of the company as well. So that's it for today. Again, my name is Max Noir. I really appreciate you guys being here. This is where you can find me on literally every single possible social media outlet, and I do hope to connect with some of you guys again offline. And yeah, I appreciate you all for being here, and I will catch you in the Q&A section right now. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.